Well, good afternoon, everyone. I guess I feel slightly... I think I'm looking for a new country head, because Santosh told me, he said, Richard, we've got this conference coming up, and it would be really good if you could attend. Pick up from, really, is some of the themes from this morning. Now, what I've tried to do a little bit is pick up on, if you like, a bit from where I left off, but also some of the ideas that came through this morning, because there was some, I think, really interesting stuff. Firstly, from Ben around... when he was pressed around what it takes to move, what's the issues around moving to more of an outcome-based contract, one of the words he used was trust. It's very hard to develop outcome-based contracts, as a necessary part of that seems to be a higher level of trust. And the other aspect is that struck me was this idea around the IP, building assets around our capabilities, which we can then leverage both in terms of our core proposition, but back out to our clients. And so I've slightly rejigged what I was going to say, just to sort of jump on from that point. If you remember, one of the things I picked up on, or one of the things I emphasized, is the idea in terms of the theme of today, this session, is about integrating the BPO supply chain. Because I think this is what is happening, and I think it is a driver for many of the things we've already started to talk about, in terms of if we work closer together and we use common enabling information systems, technologies and approaches, that is what builds the trust. But the challenge for clients is all too often that they're not the BPO experts. So building on that presentation just before lunch, if we can create the frameworks and disciplines which enable us to professionally manage our business transparently, then we can go to our clients and help them to be better at their product, but effectively enhance their own value. I want to give a couple of examples of that in organizations that I'm familiar with. So this is the quote from somebody writing up on the Toyota thing, which just emphasizes this point about, quite apart from the product that we provide, one of the things that we as a manufacturer, well, that Toyota did, was what they did, they pushed their production concepts, their approach to managing their supply chain, down to their second and third tier. Now, in a BPO, I think the opportunity is as much to go upstream as well as downstream. So if we can make it a real value to our clients that we integrate with them much more effectively, that's hugely value enhancing. And from our point of view, raises trust, raises visibility, perpetuates client relationships. So this is a case study where there was a BPO organization, and they put a lot of work into, we have a way that we run our business in terms of operational control. So this wasn't just a call center that had a good capacity planning gadget. They trained and they developed their team leaders to a level that effectively before had always been sort of on the job and local and ad hoc, to really control, I would call it the critical triangle. Quality, service, yes, and cost. So they equipped their organization to a previously unknown level to actually give them the tools of the job. And most team leaders end up inheriting the management system from the previous and their own version of Excel or whatever. In this case, what they did was they gave them a process, but they also gave them the training to operate that process, and then they also invested a lot in a technology to provide that framework to keep it together. The tool doesn't matter. Tools don't manage people, people do. But they put that together in a package, which meant they completely transformed the operational control they had over their operation.